Hey, what's up everyone, John the Geek here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my user experience with the Nexus 7 tablet here, and I'll be showing you some of the daily uses as well as some very specialty kind of uses with the tablet here, and hopefully you're able to enjoy this. This is going to be kind of a long video because I'm also going to be doing a few demos on the second half of this video. And first and foremost, before I begin, I'm going to talk a little bit about the form factor here, in that this differentiates itself from the very popular iPad and Transformer Prime tablets, in that it's a 7-inch tablet. And so the other tablets are 10-inch, much larger. But I like the 7-inch tablet, 7-inch form factor, because it's much more portable, easier for me to carry. And when I say easier, I mean like it fits in my back pocket. Literally passes the back pocket test, and making it easier for me to carry around means that it frees up my hands to be able to do other things, carry other things. If I'm out somewhere, for example, if I go to the cafeteria and I'm carrying a tray of food or paying for something, I don't want to have to put this down somewhere, take out my wallet, handle my business, pay something, and accidentally leaving this behind, forgetting it. That's one of the probably the worst fears of carrying around a giant tablet or whatever. But allowing me to just throw this back in my back pocket, I could worry about taking care of other stuff, not so much as worrying about where I could set down my tablet or where I could put my tablet. So that's one of the great benefits. And again, being able to carry it around with me wherever I go means I get to use it a whole lot more. The in-between times when I get a little break and stuff like that, I'm able to utilize this. With the other tablets, I kind of had to plan. I think I'm gonna have some time to be able to mess around with my tablet, so I'll carry it with me this time, and then things don't work out as well, and then you end up just carrying it around in your hands for no reason, and not being able to get to use it. So kind of discourage using the larger tablets, and that's just in my case my own personal uses, but not with this. This made it a whole lot easier to use. Alright, so moving on to some of the apps here that I use, and typically I will keep my most often used apps on one screen here, right? So pretty much my daily uses I keep on this one main screen here, and it doesn't look like much, but it actually really is a lot. So that's what I have it set up here, and that's just my own personal preferences. And so the main app that I want to talk about here that I use probably a good at least half the time while I have this is the Flipboard app, and I like reading about my technology stories here, and so this is what I pretty much get all my latest and greatest tech news from here. And this is a news aggregator app, and basically it pulls from many different sources. Not just Flipboard isn't a company that does news reporting or does tech news reporting. It just kind of really pulls information from other news sites, puts it all into one convenient place in different categories, and in my particular case the technology category here. And so when you see some article that you want to read about, pretty much you can go through and read about it. And this is, for example, from Engadget here, and then you could do things like favorite it so you could read it again later, or share it to another app, to your social network sites right there, or tweet it out, or leave a comment about it. And so yeah, that's the Flipboard app, reading my news on there. I also read news from specific sites, so this is my folder of all the news sites that I also visit, The Verge and Mashable and Currents being one of my favorite ones here, right? So that's what I use this for, is reading news. And then I've got my music apps here, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and Play Music. I'm trying to get into Spotify, but I'm not really using it that much, but primarily the Pandora and Play Music app is what I use for music. And even though this is a great device for reviewing videos, I really don't have enough time to like watch a movie. I haven't yet taken a trip where I need to watch a movie, so I haven't really used it for that. I've watched YouTube videos, small clips, podcasts. I've done that video on here, but again, it's got to be things that are like less than 30 minutes. I really don't have a whole lot of time to be able to watch a whole thing outside of home. So I mean, when I'm at home, I do watch podcasts on my computer, but when I'm out somewhere, I really don't have a whole lot of time, more than like 30 minutes. I'll be lucky if I got like 15 minutes to use this, and at a long period of time. I mean, throughout the day I might have little bits of time to use this, but not a long period of time in one setting. So the standard social media sites I use, that's pretty much given on many of the tablets here. Not really going to talk about that or go through that, but one of the things that I do use on here, or that I have started using recently that I don't use on any, like on my computer or anything like that, is the magazine app here. And I just recently subscribed to one of my favorite magazines that I would get on paper, actual physical hard copy magazine, and that is Maximum PC. This is pretty much where I used to get a lot of my, I guess, computer knowledge and, you know, hardware information is from this magazine here, one of my favorite magazines. This and a CPU Power magazine, but it's a great app, and I subscribed to it through the Google Play Store. It was $11, which is like $1 cheaper than the actual paper one, but it's so convenient having this in the form of the tablet here, so that I can have it with me at all times and be able to download and view it. You do obviously need the internet at first to download it, but after you download it all, you don't need the internet anymore. And so having this is just really great, and I can always reference, and you have all of your magazines, past magazines in here, and I can reference the magazines at any time. And so this is a really great app to have here, right? And then next, what I also use this for, and this is kind of only pertains to the Jelly Bean operating system, and that is the Google Now feature. So essentially, it's being able to assign or give out voice commands to your tablet and have your tablet do something via voice and not type stuff. And one of the things that I've used this for frequently was setting an alarm. So let's say, for example, I come home, I'm tired, and I just want to take a quick nap, and I'll say, wake me up in 15 minutes.
Setting alarm.
So as you can see here, there's a little timer that counts down, and it assumes that since I'm not going to do anything, that it wants to do what I just told it to do. So it set my alarm now for 15 minutes from now. And let me go to my clock app, and you'll see here. But I also wanted to mention one sort of downside. So there's my alarm set there. One downside to this is that it adds alarms, and it adds and it adds and it adds, and it doesn't delete them after you've gone through setting your alarm. So if I said, wake me up in 30 minutes.
Setting alarm.
Right, so it's going to set the second alarm here, and I'm going to go back into the alarms section again. Right, and you'll see that I'll have another alarm, and if I, after it's done, I'm just going to have this whole long list of alarms, and I don't really like that. And I'll have to go through and delete them one by one as I make them. So that's kind of one of the downsides for me. And I also use it to like check the weather. What's the weather like this week?
Here's the forecast for Los Angeles.
Right, so as you can see here, it's going to be ridiculously hot. Right now it's 90 degrees, and that's just unbearably hot. Especially because it's dusk, or 7:45 in the PM. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I've used that for. Now, what I liked about it is that the stuff that you want to do locally, say for example that setting the clock, it you don't require the internet for it. So before, some of like the voice command stuff or whatever, in order for it to figure out what you're trying to say, it has to send your voice, I guess, to Google and then come back. Well, you require the internet for that, and this, you don't really require the internet. It can figure out what it is that you're saying, and then present to you what it is that you're trying to do, or do what it is you're telling it to do. If it's locally, if you're asking it to, you know, store or look up something on the internet, obviously it needs the internet. But you can do things like, you know, give it some math equations, some basic stuff, or compare a couple of things. If it can be done locally, it's really great, right? So that's one of the uses that I have for that. And next is my shopping thing. I'm big on trying to stay up on what computer parts are costing, or any good deals and stuff like that. And my favorite app that I like to use for that is the DealNews app, right? So this is the DealNews, and you can filter it out by different things. I highly recommend this app if you want to take a look at stuff. And it's just an aggregator. This isn't a company that sells things. It just has links to other companies that sells a lot of things, right? So that's one of the apps that you should check out. And I've noticed that when I'm trying to download an app, I might be downloading an app from the Google Play Store, that it says that my tablet or my device is not compatible. And what I've found as a workaround was to just go to the Amazon App Store, right? So and this works out pretty well for free apps. So Amazon has their own app store, and as long as you allow unknown sources to install apps, you can find the app on the Amazon App Store. If it's a free app, you can find it on the Amazon App Store, and you'll be able to download and install it on here. I don't know of any other workaround, and you can also look online for the app. But that's if you come across an app that says it's not compatible with your device. Look for it somewhere else and install it externally, not through the App Store, or not through the Google Play Store. That's one kind of quick fix that you could do for now. Alright, and so moving on to the specialty apps, the first thing I'm going to talk about is this app called Splashtop. And so what it is a remote desktop connection, and right now it's automatically, I have it set to automatically connect to my desktop. And so what you're seeing now is my desktop PC computer. And what I've used this for was mainly for times where I'm working on a video project, or I'm working on some project, and I had to leave my computer that's at home, and I'll be at work, and maybe I get a break and I get a time, and I want to finish encoding something, or I want to send something out or upload something to YouTube. I'll connect to my machine from work through this, and control it, and do some things, finish up what I got to do. Or I could be doing things like you know, setting up a torrent download. So I'll download something so that by the time I get home, my torrent will be complete. So this is one way to finish or accomplish that, is by remote connecting to your tablet, or to your PC using your tablet. So there is one of the downsides to this is that you have to have your computer has to be on and running. It is possible to set up a wake on LAN where you can wake up your computer or turn on your computer because it's connected to the Ethernet port. That requires a whole lot of setting up and configuring. That's something completely different. It is kind of difficult to do. Hope maybe I'll be able to make a video of that later on. But remote desktop connection, and this app was, I believe, something like around $7 or $8, and they're gonna have newer versions ready for Windows 8 and stuff like that. I have another video showing the Splashtop Windows 8 version, which is really cool. It has touch gestures and stuff like that. Alright, so that's the kind of the daily, regular, day-to-day apps that I've used for this tablet. Battery life on it has never been a problem, an issue for me. Never ran out of battery. I've used this all day, and then even into the next day, and no problems with running out of batteries. No problems with, I guess, screen lifting. The screen has been coming apart from the actual bezel or metal or the case here. I haven't had any problems like that. Haven't had any issues with the color reproduction or any video or dead pixels or anything like that. Everything's been fast and responsive. Wi-Fi has been good, never dropped anything. Bluetooth works good. Everything on here works really well. The USB port, yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything is been working very well on this tablet. And now I'm going to show you a couple of apps, specialty apps that I've used this for. This ends up becoming like a very useful tool for you, more than just using apps or whatever. But the two things I'm going to show you is the DSLR controller and the Torque app. Alright, so what I'm showing you here is a DSLR. This is a Canon 60D, and I have it set up here to take a picture or photography, video, whatever, all that stuff of this item here. That I have it pointed at that item there, and what I'll be using my tablet for is using it as an external monitor, but more so than just displaying or viewing what my camera can see here. So what I've got plugged into it is a USB cable, and this is actually a really long USB cable, a 10-foot cable, and I have the USB host adapter here that I picked up. It's like a couple bucks, and the cable is a couple bucks altogether. This is like less than 10 bucks for this cable that you have here, and it's plugged into the USB port on the camera here. And normally you would plug this into a computer that runs the Canon software so that you can control and view live mode on your computer. But with this app here on the tablet called DSLR Controller, and it was about 8 bucks on the Google Play Store. Totally worth it, I think. Once you plug this in here, let me go ahead and plug this in. Right? It's asking me choose an app for this USB device, and one of the options there is DSLR controller, so I'll go ahead and choose that. And essentially what's going to pop up here, I'll say always, right? And essentially what I am seeing on my screen here is what the camera is seeing, and it's live too, so don't let the static picture fool you. Let me see if I can get this in shot here. So I'm waving my hand in front of the camera, and essentially you can control the camera, all of the camera settings from the tablet here, right? So I could stand from afar or whatever. The only thing I can't really do with this particular camera is focus, because well, actually I think you can autofocus. If you turn on autofocus with your camera lens, then you can autofocus when you snap a photo. Those are a little bit complicated, but there are other, like I had another camera, T3i, where I had something called Magic Lantern on there, and I can actually, you know, step focus on that, but that's something, a whole nother element there. But anyways, essentially you can control things like the white balance here, and you have all of your white balance settings that you could do, or your presets. Pretty much almost everything that you could do on your camera you have here. I'm in video mode right now, so I can actually just, you know, hit this button and I'm recording, and right now I'm actually recording video with the camera, right? And it's all the information is being saved on the camera. It's not being saved on here. You're just viewing it on here. So I'll just stop that. And then I can hit this aperture button here, and I just basically took a photo. It's gonna load the photo, and again I'm only viewing what's on the camera, and it, you know, looks decent enough, right? So let me go back here, and then there's all kinds of settings, like I could change the ISO here, right? I'll change it to lower or higher, and don't let the what this camera is capturing, it looks really nice on here. It's just that my camera, with the way I have the lighting in this room and this screen brightness here, it just looks a little blown out, but it's pretty good on this camera. And you know, we have the histogram here stuff. I mean, I'm not a photographer or anything, but it's pretty interesting. You can zoom in if you want. Well, that's kind of useless. other overlay type stuff. I don't even know what half of this stuff does really, but manual focus, and you can change the aperture here, which is really nice. And if you could hear, the camera is actually, you know, making those noises that you do, right? And you can change the shutter speed, all that, and then you can go back and review your photos that you've taken, or that's on the memory card or on the camera, and video as well. So in terms of video monitoring, what you can do is bring up the settings here, and they have all kinds of settings where you can view your camera and how you want to view things. And one of the things that I've done is the render in live view, the render quality, and I'll choose quality, so as I want a better quality, and the frame rate. It was set to 15, which looked a little choppy, but when you have a more powerful CPU, and this is a quad-core CPU, or a quad-core ARM processor that's in this, it can process the video being displayed a lot better and a lot smoother. So as you can see there, it's a lot smoother than it was when I had it at 15 frames. So that's because it's more powerful CPU on here. And this also works with phones, the Nexus phones as well. It doesn't have to be tablets, but pretty much most Android devices. And in terms of cameras, most DSLRs it will handle. You have to look at the apps compatibility, but so far all the T2i, T3i, T1, the 60D here, 5D, 7D, those are the ones that I know that works. I'm not sure about the Nikon cameras, but essentially that's the DSLR Controller app, and I'm looking into getting a kind of one of those Gorilla Grips case holder things, so that I can mount this to the side of the tripod here, or even on top of the camera. And those monitors, those fancy monitors that they sell for DSLRs and stuff like that, those run at like $400, and those are like the cheap knockoff monitors, are those $400 ones that are battery powered. And this tablet right here, it's $200 plus that $8 app, and this $10 cable right here. It's still a whole lot cheaper, and you could also play Angry Birds while you're on a video shoot or whatever. And so yeah, this is a lot better than the little flip out screen that they have here, and you can control everything with it. Alright, so one of the things I wanted to show you was probably one of the coolest things I've done with this tablet, and that is real-time information about what's going on with my car. And I'm using this ELM 327 OBD2 scanner, and so this connects to my tablet via Bluetooth. Right, it was about 18 bucks. It's so inexpensive. It's about 18 bucks on Amazon. And so essentially all the cars that's made after 1994 have the OBD2 scanner, or a port on it, and you plug this in, you pair it with it Bluetooth, and just like any normal Bluetooth, and it basically sends information to your car, or about your car, to the tablet that the tablet reads. So I just plugged it in now. Essentially we go to the settings here, and we're gonna go to Bluetooth. We're gonna turn it on, right? And so it automatically or immediately recognizes the scanner there, and this is the MAC address of it. So we'll go ahead and connect to it, and so it comes up with the name there, OBD2. And it's a generic pin, so I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so that's it. It's paired now. So there's an app that I've downloaded, and there's a free version, but I downloaded the paid version, and it's called Torque. So once you start this up, basically it gives you a readout here, and you can do things like check the fault codes and stuff like that. But what's cool is that it has real-time information, but also it does graphing, so you can actually list things that you want to keep track of, and it'll chart out for you in a graph. There's various things, and you can actually start recording things, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to do that right now because that's a little bit of complicated bits and configuration that I'd want to do. But for the real-time information, they have this kind of widget style type thing here, and they have different kind of information. So right now my car's on and running, and it's at 700 RPMs, and if I hit the gas here, it goes up, which is pretty nice. And so these widgets are configurable, meaning you can just put them anywhere, and you can add different ones if you want, many different kinds. And you can start logging from here as well, take a screenshot of things. And so I'm just gonna leave it at the stock here, and then I'm gonna run my car right now, and we'll see how this goes. Hopefully you can see it in the on the screen here, because it is kind of dark. Alright, so I got my camera propped up here, and I apologize if you can't really see anything, but I really don't want to be holding the camera and driving. It's very unsafe, and this goes without saying. Do not attempt any of this, what you're about to see. And don't be fiddling around with your tablet while driving or staring at your screen. I know it's nice looking and all, but you don't really want to be doing this sort of thing, making videos and recording yourself, or even looking down at your screen here. Have somebody with you fiddling around with the settings and recording stuff. Right? Don't be putting stuff on your dashboard. Anyways, I have things like my RPMs, the speed that I'm going, the amount of coolant, the pressure of the amount of coolant that's flowing, and the temperature of it, acceleration, accelerometer, throttle, how much throttle am I using, and vacuum. I don't know what most of that really means, but let's see if we can, hopefully you can see some dials here. Sorry for my steering wheel being in the way, but hopefully you're able to see some things, and you're able to see me turn some dials here. Alright, so here's an example of the line chart, and this is logging mode, so I'm logging my graph here that it's creating in real time, and you can choose different variables. This is the speed and RPMs, the revs. Hopefully you're able to see this. That's what happens when you don't secure your stuff. Alright, so that's never happened to me before. I think that's my cue to exit. Alright, that's pretty much it. That's what I want to show you. Hopefully it was somewhat informative for you. Thanks for watching. And please comment, rate, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, all that jazz. Remember kids, don't try this at home. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.